Have you ever wondered why some people walk into a room and instantly capture everyone's attention without trying? They don't speak. They don't show off their achievements. They don't desperately seek approval. Yet, people naturally gravitate toward them. It is as if they carry an invisible force that quietly commands respect wherever they go. You see, true attraction is not something you create on the outside. It is something you cultivate within. Real magnetism doesn't come from your face, your clothes, or your followers. It comes from your character. It comes from the quiet confidence of someone who has mastered their emotions, found peace within themselves, and no longer depends on the opinions of others to feel worthy. In today's lesson, we'll explore the timeless Stoic principles that make a person silently attractive. You'll discover why silence is often more powerful than words, why emotional control is more captivating than physical beauty, and how developing inner strength can transform the way people see, and more importantly, feel about you. Now let's dive in. Step 1. Learn to speak less and observe more. One of the greatest strengths a person can develop is the ability to observe before reacting. Most people believe attraction comes from saying clever things, telling impressive stories, or always having an opinion. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. They believe that wisdom begins with listening. Think about the people you enjoy being around. They are often not the loudest in the room. Instead, they make you feel heard. They understand your emotions without you having to explain everything. This is the power of observation. When you speak less, your mind becomes free to pay attention. The Stoics believed that every person reveals their character through their actions more than through their words. Someone may claim to be honest, but their behavior will show whether that is true. Someone may speak about kindness, yet treat others poorly when no one is watching. An observant person learns to trust consistent actions rather than impressive speeches. Modern psychology teaches that people naturally feel closer to those who genuinely listen. When someone gives you their full attention, instead of interrupting or waiting for their turn to speak, you feel respected and understood. This creates trust, and trust is one of the strongest foundations of attraction. So, in your next conversation, make it your goal to listen more than you speak. Resist the urge to interrupt. Ask thoughtful questions. Notice the other person's emotions as much as their words. After the conversation, reflect on what you learned about them rather than on what you said. People may forget your words, but they rarely forget how you made them feel. Step 2. Master your emotions before trying to impress others. One of the greatest lessons of Stoicism is this: you cannot control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. You see, many people believe being attractive is about appearance, charm, or confidence, but psychology consistently shows that emotional stability is one of the most attractive qualities a person can possess. People naturally feel safe around someone who does not overreact, lose control, or let every emotion dictate their behavior. Always remember this: when you remain calm under pressure, you communicate strength without saying a word. Others begin to trust your judgment because they know you won't react impulsively. In moments of conflict, people look to you because your steady presence gives them confidence. This is the quiet power of emotional mastery. As the Stoics understood, the strongest person is not the one who conquers others, but the one who conquers themselves. When you learn to rule your emotions instead of being ruled by them, you develop a silent attractiveness that no appearance, wealth, or status can ever replace. Step 3. Let your actions introduce you. Many people today spend more time talking about who they want to be than actually becoming that person. They announce their goals, boast about their achievements, or constantly seek recognition. But the Stoics warned against this because words are easy. They cost nothing. Character, however, is built through consistent action. Marcus Aurelius expressed this idea by encouraging people not to spend their lives discussing what a good person is, but to be one. This is the heart of Stoic philosophy. Your life should be your introduction. From a psychological perspective, People are naturally drawn to those whose actions match their words. Consistency creates trust. Trust creates respect. Respect often grows into admiration. Think about someone who always keeps their promises. They don't need to remind you that they are reliable. You already know because you've seen it repeatedly. Now compare that to someone who constantly says, "Trust me," but rarely follows through. The more they talk, the less believable they become. Your actions become your reputation. Step 4. Accept yourself completely. Accepting yourself does not mean becoming complacent or deciding that you never need to grow. Instead, it means making peace with who you are today while still committing to becoming a better person tomorrow. Many people spend their lives fighting themselves. They compare their appearance, intelligence, career, relationships, or achievements with those of others. They criticize every mistake they make and feel ashamed of every flaw they notice. This constant self-rejection creates insecurity, and insecurity often shows itself through people-pleasing, arrogance, or a desperate need for validation. The Stoics taught that peace begins when you stop measuring your worth by things outside your control. You cannot change your past. You cannot choose your natural height, your childhood, or every circumstance that shaped your life. But you can choose your character, your habits, and your response to every challenge. Modern psychology supports this idea. People who practice self-acceptance tend to have higher self-esteem, greater emotional resilience, and healthier relationships. They are less dependent on external approval because their sense of worth comes from within. Stop comparing your journey to someone else's. Treat mistakes as lessons, not as proof of failure. Acknowledge your strengths without arrogance. Work on what you can control. Speak to yourself with respect. The most silently attractive people are not those who believe they are perfect. They are those who know they are imperfect, yet continue to improve with patience, humility, and courage.